Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. As almost late, I have my peppermint with me, and it sounds like I really need it again this morning. Good morning, Bailey. See Bailey over there? Yeah, he's here. He's ready to play. Okay, channel is open. I know I'm a little weepy this morning. It's nothing sad, I promise. It's just allergies. Allergies, aren't they fun? Okay, door closed, ready to start. Here we go. I want to start out. Good morning, darling. I want to start out with the Fritzy report. So, when I went over yesterday, it was basically I was going over to just drop off some extra socks and some pajamas and things like that. Because when I went through her room the other day, it seemed like there were an awful lot of them missing. So, I decided instead of arguing about it, why not just bring her some more? So that's what I did. And in the meantime, I brought her into her room so she could keep me company while I was, straightening up things in her room. And she wasn't very engaging yesterday when I first got there. She just kind of sat in her chair and kept looking at her bed and asking me if it was her bed or my bed. And I kept telling her it was her bed. And she said, well, then why can't I lay down? And I kept saying, because it's almost lunchtime, so you need to stay awake and visit with me for a little while. Okay, she'd be fine with that for a minute, and then we'd start the whole routine all over again. Then I'd get closer to her, and she would read my name tag out loud. She loves to read my name out loud. Good morning, Jenny. So she would read my name and say it out loud. And I would say to her, that's right. That's who I am. And I'm your daughter. You're my mama. I'm your little girl. And she'd get so happy. You are? That's what you're so pretty. As I said, who wouldn't go visit a woman every day who told you you were pretty? I do. Anyway. I thought, she's just sitting in that chair, and I know she's capable of more than that. And I had bought her this book of Shirley Temple cutout dolls, with little dolls and clothes and things like that. Because she's always been a big, huge Shirley Temple fan. And that's why I became one, because my mother was. I don't know if I ever told you this, but my mother had an original Shirley Temple doll, because that was, she was just a couple of years older. I mean, that was her generation, right? So she had this beautiful Shirley Temple doll, that an antique, but she gave it to me when I was way too young. And I'm afraid I am guilty of giving Shirley Temple a haircut. Ah! I can't even cut my own bangs, and I cut off Shirley Temple's curls. Anyway, once she had the Shirley Temple book in her hands, she started turning the pages and almost chattering about it. It was so cute. Oh, this is pretty. This is cute. Do you want to cut out some doll clothes? I mean, it was like a conversation. So I thought, maybe because she has dementia and it's kind of hard to break through that crust, maybe nobody's taking the time with her to break through that crust, or at least not often enough. Maybe I just haven't done it. Maybe they do it all day long here. So I decided to engage with her differently than usual. And I brought over a photograph album that she could hold in her hands. And we looked at the pictures one by one and I talked about them with her. Not just who was in them, but what was going on and what the people were feeling. The next thing I know, she started talking. The first picture she saw of her mother, she didn't realize who it was. So I said to her, that's your mom. That's your mama. Isn't she pretty? She was the sweetest, kindest lady. Then the next time a picture of her mother came up, she immediately said, it's my mother. Oh, she was the nicest lady. And she did that with pretty much everyone that I helped her identify the first time. By the second time, she knew who they were and she was telling me what wonderful people they were. Anyway, it was lovely. So we visited for probably 45 minutes until they came and said, "Hey, we got to get her to lunch." So I took her down to lunch. And once again, she wanted to know why I couldn't stay and have lunch with her. But I told her it was against the rules and I'd be back. So once again, Fritzy at 97, rocking the world. It's Queen Elizabeth's birthday. I'm not sure how old she is. And I'm not sure she's much in the mood to celebrate right now anyway. So we'll celebrate her birthday another time. Also, John Muir's birthday. You know who that is, right? Sierra Club guy. He started the Sierra Club. Yeah, thanks to him, we have Yosemite and Sequoia and some, I want to say it's National Parks Day, either coming up or we just had it. I think it's coming up. Joshua Tree is the closest one to us. I love going to Joshua Tree. Okay. In this house, 9:30 a.m. is banana time. Not for me, for him. He has a banana every day at 9:30. Today is banana day. That means, I think it means you have to eat bananas all day long. I can think of worse things to do. I do like bananas. Banana cream pie, banana bread, bananas in my cereal, bananas in my fruit salad. Go bananas! BANANAS! Go bananas! BANANAS! Okay, sorry. Am I a little too much first thing in the morning? That's how I wake up. Sorry. It is Big Word Day. Yeah, today is the day where you get to show off your vocabulary. See how many big words you can use. How many times have you used supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in a sentence, for crying out loud? And by the way, if we could all learn that word, we could learn some other pretty cool words too. I do have some favorites. I love the word exacerbate. I just think it's a really cool word. And the more I hear it, the more it exacerbates my love for the word. That's all I can say. I also like the word confabulate, not just because it rhymes with exacerbate. I think confabulate is a wonderful word. In regular talk, it's just conversation. Let's confabulate about this. But in psychology, confabulate is fritzy. It's when you make up all these amazing fabrications as compensation for memories that you don't have. Point in fact, years ago, my family took a trip up the tram in Palm Springs to the top of the tram where they have a very lovely restaurant. And we had reservations at the nice restaurant up there, celebrating somebody's something. I don't know what, but there were probably, I don't know, at least a dozen of us who went up together and had this dinner celebration. Fritzy remembers it because it was at night and in this, it's not really a gondola. I don't know what, maybe they call it a gondola. It was at night and she remembers it as taking a trip to the moon and having dinner on the moon. So she was telling everybody for months that she'd been to the moon and had dinner up there and it was just lovely. So it was lovely. But for ages, we couldn't figure out why she kept telling people she went to the moon. And then I figured out she thought we were in a rocket ship when we were in that thing going, come on, what's the word? Help me out again, folks. The little chair thing. It's not a chair. It's like a little train car, but it goes up. You know what I'm talking about, right? The tram, but there's a name for that. Yeah. Okay. No, tram's not the word I'm looking for because a tram could be with wheels on the ground. There's a name when it's, I don't think it's a gondola either, but I'm not sure. It's what you call those cars. I think it's a funny word. Yeah. Anyway, dinner on the moon. I would just assume open a restaurant up there and call it dinner on the moon because it does seem otherworldly once you get up there. And the trip up there in the dark, seeing all the lights down below, especially because the desert is not that populated. So it's obviously not a city you're looking down at, but like sprinklings of lights here and there. I can see where you would think it was the moon. It's also Keep Off the Grass Day, which personally I thought was a joke in response to the fact that yesterday was 420 and it was Get on the Grass Day, so to speak. What do I know? But coincidentally, it is also National Surprise Drug Test Day, which is interesting choice of making it the day after 420 when people are out there getting stoned. Whatever. It's also National Tea Day. Now, I know I'm using a coffee cup, but doesn't this look like it should be a teacup? And it says, I am queen of everything. She wore an invisible crown. No one can say no to a queen. Thank you very much. And I do, in fact, have my tiaras over there. I keep them over there. So funicular. Stephen, I cannot tell you how many times you have already helped me just in the last week. Thank you. Thank you. Stephen got the word for me. Funicular. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope you saw that I credited you for the information about parks yesterday too. Yeah. Because hey, we certainly wouldn't have known about John Parker, at least in detail, if it wasn't for you, Stephen. Thank you. I will have a sip to you. Thanks. Anyway, this is a coffee mug, but it looks like a teacup. So I'm like faking it because today's National Tea Day. So just by the way, the Queen does not have to celebrate her actual birthday today because I believe the country celebrates her birthday in June, even though it's now. I know I can't quite figure that out, but maybe it was more convenient and the weather was nicer. I don't know. 2016, this is the anniversary of the day when I believe Prince died from an accidental overdose. I believe that was the final decision. But I guess we'll never really know for sure, will we? Mark Twain died on this day. Thank you to Mark Twain for Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. And I don't know, somehow I see Karate Kid and Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer and Painting the Fence all being very related. Paint on, paint off, paint on, paint off. Prepared everybody for what was to come in their futures, right? Thank you, Mark Twain. Sam Clemens, Mark Twain. Okay, here's the really big deal. Here's the big deal. In 1986, oh, I hope you remember this because it was so much fun. Geraldo Rivera made this big deal about how he was going to open Al Capone's vault. And we were going to find, who knew? Maybe Jimmy Hoffa. I don't know what he expected to find. But there was all this hype, easy for you to say. There was all this hype about this show that he was going to do, and they were going to climax it by opening this vault, and maybe it was going to be filled with millions of dollars or machine guns or something exciting, and all the hype. And you do remember that? Yeah, it was completely empty. Hello. Somebody beat you to it, Geraldo. Okay, before we do the word of the day, the quote of the day, the word art of the day, I call them quarts, right? QUORTS, which is a combination of quote and art. It's a quart, QUART. That would be quart. Quart. I know it's not a quart. It's yeah. Okay, you get it. Anyway, yesterday, I forgot to tell you this, was lookalike day. Yeah, you were supposed to do one of those stupid apps that told you what celebrity you looked like, or come on, everybody has somebody at some point who's come up to them and said, oh my God, you look just like my cousin. Oh, you look just like somebody I went to school with. Oh, you look like that, right? I got that all the time. I also got that because I think I looked a lot like my mother when I was growing up. And people would like stop me on the bus when I was like 10, 11 years old and say, "You must be Fritzy's daughter." I was like, yeah, do I really look that much like Fritzy? But apparently I did. Anyway, I wanted to share it with you because it was look-alike day, and I had this friend. I know I've talked about him before, but you may not have all heard about him, and I'm not going through the whole story of him, but I had this friend named Sasha Gabor. Sasha was Burt Reynolds look-alike. Yeah, I mean, like dead ringer, you should forgive the expression. He even drove a car like the car in Smokey and the Bandit, which my kids were little at the time, and they thought Sasha was Burt Reynolds, and the car really was the Bandit. I mean, it was like crazy in my house when Sasha would come over, and he came over a lot until the morning that he said I was making lunch, and we were going to eat outside because it was a beautiful day, and he said, would you like to see my headshots? And I said, oh, that'd be awesome. And when I walked outside to bring the food onto the table, there were all these naked pictures of him. It turns out he was indeed a double for Burt Reynolds, but in the porn industry, not necessarily in the movies. Every now and then he would do a movie, but primarily he was Burt Reynolds porn. I almost had a heart attack when I saw those pictures. I've got little children here. And I made him put them all away. And we didn't see him a whole lot after that. But we used to pull tricks on people all the time. And there was that one time when I had a store in LA, and I went to visit my store, and I was hanging out with the staff, and we were working together. And all of a sudden, Burt Reynolds walks in, and all the staff just like flipped out. And he walks over to me and he goes, "You're hot. I think I want you." And with that, he picked me up, put me over his shoulder, and carried me out the door, put me into the Bandit, and drove away, with my staff just having their mouths drop, not having a clue what was going on. It was a pretty hilarious practical joke we pulled. Yeah, no, it was. They weren't sure whether to call the police or not, because I mean, it was Burt Reynolds, for crying out loud. I got to be his Sally Field, right? Who, by the way, shares my birthday. Thank you very much. But I think she's a year or two older, something like, maybe I'm a year or two older. I don't remember. Anyway, sorry we missed Lookalike Day, because I love telling the Burt Reynolds lookalike story. And now I did leave it out there. The word art of the day. This is like so cool. The word art of the day is, who's your hero? And whose hero are you? Think about that. Somewhere out there, right this minute probably, someone is thinking about you and thinking about something awesome that you did for them. You may not even realize you ever did it. They may not even know your name, but maybe you just picked something up for a stranger. Maybe there was somebody in junior high school that you stood up for and didn't let be bullied. Maybe there was someone at the supermarket. You said, hey, let that person get in line ahead of you. They've only got one thing. You are their hero. I promise you. Everyone is someone's hero. You've got some heroes. I know you do. But how about acknowledging those heroes? Everyone wants to know they made a difference in someone's life. I was walking with a friend yesterday. We hiked instead of tennis in the morning because I played tennis in the afternoon. And we were walking along, and I told her about this morning's word art. And she said, yeah, I got this Facebook message from someone that I knew in elementary school, who suddenly, out of the blue, wrote to me and thanked me for defending her when we were in the 4th grade. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff, kids. Really good stuff. So go out there and be a hero. More important, tell your heroes thank you. Think about all those people who have actually made a difference in your life that you have never gotten to say thank you to. And if you don't know their names, that's okay. Tell the story. Tell the story. They'll get it somehow. In the meantime, here's to you, my lovely friends, with a sip and a smile, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.